So most of you who subscribe to my channel know that I really like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, of course a congresswoman for the Bronx, I think, in America. And I've made videos talking about how much I appreciate her policy positions and how much I, really am inspired as a young person by someone who's only a bit older than me running for Congress and making such an impact. But something I came across today was her old Reddit account, and it's actually really, really wholesome because, normally when you dig up old accounts of, politicians, it's normally really bad for like racist stuff or really controversial stuff, but this is actually really wholesome, and it pretty much shows that she was always going to endorse Bernie Sanders. Was anyone really surprised? And I'll really get into how it's so obvious despite, everyone knowing that she did work on a Bernie Sanders campaign. So one of her first posts on Reddit, and I'm going to put all these up on the screen for you, says on the subreddit, Sanders for president, one borough, 500,000 Democrats, let's push, help us in the Bronx and beyond. And she goes on to say, as a native Bronxite, I am so proud of the campaign's work here. We are flipping voters to Bernie in droves, but with so many people here, it's tough to get a gauge on our actual impact. It's the day before the primary and people are still making up their minds. Take a look at South Bronx office, 6 p.m. And then she lists loads of ways people can get involved and help change people's minds so they vote for Bernie in the primary. So just showing how loyal she is to Bernie. And then she says at the end, really thankful for the opportunity to be part of this movement for a greater and more just America. Let's keep pushing to the convention. So it's clear that she really got her start in politics working for the Bernie Sanders campaign, and it shows that she is inspired by someone like Bernie. Now, in her first comment on Reddit, she details how her vote was sort of suppressed. So she wrote, this is my first post to Reddit. In shock right now, I've been a registered Democrat in New York for 8 years and bussed myself 4 hours to my polling location in 08 just so I could vote in the primary. I saw this post and thought there was no way my registration could be affected, checked anyway, and my voter affiliation has been changed. I am no longer affiliated with any party, and as of today, I am ineligible to vote in the primary. Total shock. I used to be on the fence about open versus closed primary issues, but that has completely changed today. We need open primaries everywhere to prevent this from happening again. I am so hurt that my right to vote in this primary has been taken from me. Contacted my New York County registrar today and will update with what they say. Also share my story on social media. Now, I think this is the story that she shared with Cenk Uygur because they retweeted that recently, that she tweeted the Young Turks back in 2016 to tell them about this. So then here's another comment. Someone says, have you donated to Bernie's campaign? And she says, yes, I've donated about 3 times. So again, was anyone really surprised when she endorsed Bernie Sanders for president this time? Now she talks about canvassing for Bernie, so she says, yes, I canvassed very early this morning to catch the Take Your Kids to School rush and handed out stickers outside a huge apartment complex. People were so happy to see anyone canvassing, and we convinced tons of people and found lots of folks polling locations. Also lots of people excited about Bernie. I do think the polling here is off. I don't want to set my hopes too high, but if there ends up being a dark horse in this race of Bernie, it's going to come from the Bronx. It's literally a race against time to get people to the polls here. Also, the phone banking worked. One person told me they got a Bernie call and said no way, but after they hung up and thought about it, they are going to wind up voting for him after all. Amazing job, everybody. Phone banking makes our job on the ground so much easier. And then she said, edit, guys, Hillary camp is sending last minute people here and covering major transit hubs. Really need you to come if you can. So there you go. She is really in the thick of organising for Bernie Sanders in the Bronx. So that is even more great to see her first-hand experience and her organising on Reddit when she is virtually a nobody at this point. Now, she's one of the most famous politicians in America. But here's something I like a lot more. She was posting on the League of Legends subreddit. Now, League of Legends, for you, those who don't know, is one of the biggest video games in the world. Even though you might not hear about it, it is one of the biggest, and it's one of the biggest esports as well. And just recently on her Instagram, she posted about her getting a new rank in League of Legends, so she obviously still plays. So then on an article that was posted on the League of Legends subreddit, it said, Ward TV 2.0 introducing the best way to watch League of Legends. After 2 years of work, we're excited to release our first major update. Filter live streams and over 60k game VODs based on champ, matchup, rank, region and more. Please tell us what you think. And then AOC says, looks like Twitch is down, but I like the game VOD search feature best anyway. As a newish player, it's really nice to see high level players on champs that I'm trying to figure out. So someone found her comment suspicious for some reason and said, look at AOC's comment history, only a Sanders for President poster 6 months ago until all of a sudden, and she's commenting here, fishy stuff. And then she wrote, yep, I'm not a huge Reddit commenter. For privacy reasons, I'm a woman by the way. I'm a fairly new League player, though, and Morgana and Miss Fortune are my mains. I've been beta testing Ward TV to help myself learn how to play. Any tips on how to improve terrible mouse control are appreciated. So that is obviously super wholesome, isn't it? She's just asking how to play this game, and it's so nice to see that she's a real person. Can you imagine anyone else who's in Congress or the Senate, you know, having post history talking about how to play League of Legends and talking about her mains and everything. It's just really endearing, I think, and it makes me like her even more. Now, I wanted to read one more thing, and it's that the documentary, you know, Knock Down the House, which I made a review on, so go check that out. I'll put the link in the description, was about various different candidates, and then one of them was Paula Jean Swearingen, and she posted on the Political Revolution subreddit, and then she just wrote about her struggle against Joe Manchin, and then underneath, AOC said, "Hey Paula, it's your Justice Democrat sister campaign Ocasio 2018 here. Here's a question I've got for you. You're such a seasoned and tough advocate that I imagine you might have almost seen everything before, but has there been anything since announcing your run that surprised you? Any aspects to running your campaign that you didn't expect? Lots of love from New York, Alexandria." And this comment, from my understanding, doesn't actually have any upvotes. So it's just nice to see that when she was primarying Joe Crowley, she's still keeping in contact with these people. And it wasn't all like done for the cameras, like people were thinking that, you know, AOC was an actress picked out. It really shows they were all in this together, primarying bad Democratic candidates historically like Joe Manchin or Joe Crowley. So overall, just a little nice story for you guys about AOC's old Reddit account. Isn't it nice when politicians you look up to, when you go back into their history, they're actually totally normal people and not scumbags like a lot of them? So anyway, you can go check that out yourselves. There's lots of different comments there. It's mainly focused on the Bernie Sanders campaign in 2016. There are some others about her own campaign in 2018 against Joe Crowley. So yeah, go have a look at that if you're interested. And also, speaking of Reddit, I have a Reddit account and I'm not a private person either, like AOC was using hers for politics. So go follow mine. It is just r/TommyCahill1995. And weirdly enough, I already have 22 followers on Reddit. It's basically the same as what I do on Twitter, I guess, but I interact with more community. So yeah, I'm posting on like the Battlefield subreddit or the soccer subreddit or the Assassin's Creed subreddit, and I am talking politics, and I'm on BreadTube as well. And I think the thing with me is, you might say, why are you advertising your Reddit account? Isn't that meant to be private? Pretty much for me, anything I say online, I'm happy to back up with, I guess, my face. I'm not like trolling. So if anyone ever finds it, if I become somewhat prominent, I'm not going to be like, oh my god, I can't believe I wrote this, you've caught me out. I'm pretty much just myself. On there, I try to be genuine in everything I do. I always speak my mind, whether that's in real life, Reddit, Twitter, Instagram, or here on YouTube, because I just don't want to be, you know, caught out one day. I just want to always be myself. And I'm not ashamed of what I have to say. I know a lot of people don't want people to find their online accounts, but I'm okay with that. It does open me up for doxing, but, you know, what are you going to do? People would find me anyway if I'm showing my face on YouTube. So anyway, let me know what you guys think about AOC's Reddit account. If you like the video, please leave a like. Maybe subscribe to my channel. If you want to find me on social media, follow me at The Cavernacle on both Twitter and Instagram. And like I said, maybe follow my Reddit page, which is just r/TommyCahill1995. No, my name is not actually Tommy Cahill. I just use it because it's a movie character I like. If you want to check out my Patreon, that is in the description, so have a look at that. Maybe consider donating if you like my stuff, but don't worry about it. Also, I have a WordPress blog where I just write some stuff, so maybe check that out as well. And if you made it this far, thank you for watching.